Anyway, story time on when me and my daughter moved to California. I was married. Here in Florida, I was married, stay-at-home wife. And I'm going to leave out a lot of the story because this video would be too long. But like I was saying, I was a stay-at-home wife. And me and my husband, we just decided to, go our separate ways. Of course, there's more to the story than that. But, that's all I'm willing to talk about right now. But anyways, let's see. So I moved in with my mom and my daughter. And that wasn't working out. And I realized I was going to have to do something. I was going to have to do it really quickly. So my husband filed income tax, and normally what we do, we put it all together and just pay bills, whatever. But we were seeing as though we were separated, we just split the money. I bought 2 tickets, one for my daughter and one for me, and off to California we went. We went to California on Amtrak, a train. It was really nice. It was relaxing, we saw a lot of places that we've never seen, met a lot of people. So anyways, moving on from that. We arrived to California. Let me just say this before I continue on with the story. My mom, I noticed when she would move from one part of Florida to another part, she would land a job where she was moving to, and she would land an apartment. And I knew that I was not going to land in an apartment before I got to California. I knew I was going to have to figure that out once I got there, but I did know that I would have to land a job first. And how I was going to do that, I wasn't quite sure, but I knew it was something that I had to do. Anyways, I went to the library here in Florida with my daughter, and I just started watching videos of braiding hair, I've been braiding hair since I was 12 years old, so I don't really mind watching those videos, So anyways, I was watching these videos, and one video popped up that I've never seen before. There's about a lady who owned a braiding shop in California and how she was hiring braiders. I was thinking to myself, wow, what a great opportunity, but how would I land this job? It's all the way across America, how am I going to do this? How could I interview over the phone? How could I, whatever, but I just decided that I would have to deal with that as well when I got there. I was extremely, I wouldn't say extremely confident, but I kind of figured that I could do it, I could land a job with her if I got there in time and she didn't hire all the braiders that she needed. So, like I said, me and my daughter headed to California on a train. We arrived to California, and, I figured that I would have to get like a hotel room close to where the shop was, just in case I landed the job, that I would be close to the shop. I would be able to leave my daughter at the hotel and walk to the shop and work, and then walk back in the evening time, and, all of that. So I got the city bus, the LA city bus, to the area that her shop was, and I got a hotel room there for my daughter and I. The next day, I called her shop. And I spoke with her, and I was like, hi, my name is, I'm interested in, applying for one of your braiders positions. And she told me to come in that day. I was really excited, but I was also nervous. So I walked over to her shop, and she was in the back braiding hair. And one of the young ladies opened the door that worked for her, and I told her why I was there. She went in the back, she spoke to the manager, and the manager told her to take me to there's a section in her store where she had like mannequin heads where you can braid. So she told the girl to, have me do cornrows on the mannequin's head. Now, for those who don't know how to braid, it's very difficult to braid on a mannequin's head, and to get it perfectly. So if you could pull that off and braid on a mannequin's head, then it's a huge chance that you can braid a human's hair. So that's what I did. I put a cornrow, I put a box braid, and then I had to do the twists. Now, this is at the time where the single ace twist, I think that's how it's pronounced, it was really popular. Like, it just came out like really, really popular. And I wasn't quite sure how to do it, but I was practicing for a while. But I didn't have it perfect, but it was good enough for what I could do. So the manager came from the back, and she took a look at all of the braids, the cornrow, the box braid, and the twist, and she studied the twist that I put in the mannequin's head for a while, and she was like, you can do better on this one, but she's like, the other ones look good. She's like, okay, you're hired, I'll give you a chance. And she gave me 3 days out of the week to work. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to pull off rent with that, but, I may get a lot of people, her store may be really super busy. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I'm going to speed it up a little bit. I was not able to continue to make the amount of money that I needed to keep the hotel that me and my daughter were staying in, the hotel room. The amount of money I got from the income tax, it paid like a few weeks. And then what I made from braiding hair paid a few weeks. But, the clientele, just the more girls she hired, the less money, you know? I mean, that's just how it works, right? The more employees the store have, the less hours they have to give to people. And in this case, in a braiding shop, the more braiders you have, the less braiders get to, braid, because, I mean, if you have 20 braiders and there's 10 customers, like 10 of those braiders aren't going to make money. So, yeah, it became a little difficult for me to pay for the hotel room. So my daughter and I ended up being homeless. And that is where I'm going to leave the story for now. I'll probably do an update on part 2 of it. So thanks for listening.